Hello and welcome back to 2K15 Universe. I am Jitch and you are watching Friday Night SmackDown. Holy moly, this is quiet. Let me fix this. Oh, I broke it. What did I do? This is really quiet. That'll hopefully be a little better. I didn't want to go too loud. Sorry if that, it seems like it's okay on your end. Just for me that it kept flashing. Anyway, yeah, so Fandango is set for his first ever hardcore championship defense. The hardcore sensation, Fandango. And the question is, will he be able to survive his first hardcore championship defense? Well, I don't necessarily know this is going to be a super favorable matchup for Fandango, because his first title defense is against the former champion Ryback, one-on-one, falls count anywhere. Do you know what I like about this game? Do you know something I find really funny about this game? There's not that many match types, because obviously the crunch and all that, you know, we've gone over this before. There's a reason this game was lacking a few things here and there. In its defense, there was at least reasons for this one having some issues. But it has 3 match types. There's no holds barred, extreme rules, and falls count anywhere. Are those not the same thing? Like, I mean, I understand that falls count anywhere. I don't think the other two are falls count anywhere. I think, like, you have to be in the ring. I kind of get that. But the other two, what's the difference? You can't actually look at the match rules in the game, so I couldn't even tell you. It's just the way it's introduced. That's what I'd like to believe. Well, the Ryback, as he is known by some, makes his way to the ring tonight to try and become a 2-time hardcore champion. He holds the record in history for the longest reigning hardcore championship reign. There was a long intermission in between his reign, because we do not count all the time that the championship was inactive, but he still did manage to pass over 100+ days with one of the most historically actively defended championships out there. And a lot of people say, myself especially, that Ryback winning the hardcore championship, bringing back the hardcore championship, saw almost a career resurgence for Ryback. He was doing a lot better once he'd gotten the hardcore championship back in his possession again. I seem to be getting some really weird screen tearing at the moment, so I don't know if that's visible on the video. Oh yeah, there we go. Hopefully not. It's really bugging me though. I'll try to fix it after this one. I'm going to have to restart the game because I tabbed out and I think that messed everything up, as it normally does. Ryback caught here by Fandango to start things up. I believe it was last week on SmackDown that Fandango suffered a surprising loss to Ryback's new tag team partner, Curtis Axel, the former Michael McGillicuddy, making his return here in Season 5. This is the season where people decided to change their names up a little bit, seemingly. It's interesting to see the style these two have decided to go for to start this one off. I don't really fancy either of these two as the ground mat-based type of wrestlers, but there it is. The boring chat has begun. I take it that's going to be a 2K15 staple. Was Ryback really this pale? I can't really remember how, like, the real Ryback looks anymore, but why is he so pale? Was he really? I guess it doesn't look wrong. But to be fair, Fandango was very tan, so it might just be that. Ryback. Oh, lifting him up with that big powerbomb. Now, I want to remind you, hardcore championship on the line means this is Extreme Rules, falls count anywhere. Whether or not they put that to good use, that's up to them. Can't really say whether they will or not. Right now, no. Of course, Fandango had such a great WrestleMania moment when he defeated Ryback last in the four-way elimination match to capture the Hardcore Championship. And I've been all about Fandango as Hardcore Champion, but it could come to an end very quickly here tonight. This is not an easy first defense for Fandango to go one-on-one with the Ryback. Although he is managing to neutralize him pretty nicely right now. Speaking of really difficult matches, let's talk about our main event tonight. Dean Ambrose set to go one-on-one with Andre the Giant. The WWE Champion has been on fire. He's been doing real good. But just like on Monday Night Raw, we saw Randy Orton, the United States Champion, face the World Champion Edge. We're going to see if the WWE Champion can take on the Intercontinental Champion here on SmackDown. Andre the Giant facing off against Dean Ambrose. And of course, we now have a steel chair included in the match. But that did not last very long. Really loud thud there. I don't know what the hell that came from. The beauty of Falls Count Anywhere is this match can end at any given time, no matter where they go. It's almost as if the Falls Count Anywhere. Fandango, that was a horrible choice, respectfully. I don't know why you did that. With another steel chair shot across the head, right back into the cover. Uh-oh. And just like that, huh? Ryback hit him so hard that thing came to pieces in multiple parts, and well, it was a fun 3 weeks for Fandango, but unfortunately the party's over, and Ryback is once again in possession of his baby, his precious. The Hardcore Championship is back, I guess, over the shoulder of the big guy. It's a sad day indeed. I'm not going to introduce him at all. Justin, wake up.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Palo Alto, California, weighing 247 pounds, the self-professed intellectual savior of the masses, Damien Sandow.
I believe it was a couple Fridays ago here on SmackDown. I could be wrong about this, but I believe it was about 2 weeks ago here on SmackDown. Damien Sandow won a draft match, which led to Randy Savage being drafted here to Friday Night SmackDown. The first time Savage has ever not been a Raw superstar in this universe. And, well, tonight, Damien Sandow, I guess, gets the reward of being the first guy to face Randy Savage as a SmackDown superstar. I cannot get over this guy's entrance. I thought the robe was bad enough, but the spotlight? Come on now.
And approaching the ring from Sarasota, Florida, weighing 237 pounds, the Macho King.
That does not sound right to me. I can't. I mean, I get it. He was king for a little bit, but I don't think many people really remember that about Randy Savage. Like, I don't think that's very high up there on historical things to do. They don't even call him Randy Savage. It's so weird. It feels really cursed. It feels just so off. But you know what? It's fine. We'll call him the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Tonight, this one-on-one match with Damien Sandow marks the first time Randy Savage has competed on Friday Night SmackDown. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of a future awaits the Macho Man as a SmackDown superstar. These are two superstars that, honestly, I feel like given the right opportunity, there is some potential compatibility between these two to work on the same page. They're kind of, they got a similar persona about them, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You know, I mean, listen, I like Randy Savage. I think he's great. I think he's, you know, one of wrestling's greatest, no doubt about it. But, you know, he is a little pompous, and so is Sandow. I think perhaps that's actually more of the setback. Now I think about it, these two will probably never get together because I think egos would clash a little too heavily here. It'd be like seeing Damien Sandow try to work with The Miz. Never would that work. Oh, rakes the eyes of Randy Savage. Into the corner. Okay. Sandow fresh off the back of being World Tag Team Champion about a month ago with Scott Steiner, who is no longer here on SmackDown or in the WWE at all. Such a huge loss that we had there, but Steiner decided to leave. And Sandow did not. That's really all there is to that. We got left with Sandow. Steiner was out. I'm getting some crazy screen tearing on this. I don't know if that's happening on the recording. I don't think it is. I don't normally play this in full screen, but with my new setup that I have, I thought I'd test that out. And yeah, it seems like the game's not. Something's good. Probably my monitor, honestly. It looks like it's okay on the recording, so at least you guys can see it. So I'll try not to go on about that, and I'll try to find some kind of solution for that down the line. No money in the bank for you. What a shitty sign. Savage gone for the scoop. Could it be? Nope. He did not signal for it, and therefore it was not. Will it be? Randy Savage. Short arm clothesline, though. Takes down Damien Sandow once again. And a clothesline once again. Randy Savage. Clothesline after clothesline. Sandow float over DDT. The classic. The classic move.
Thousands of fans will witness an incredible main event. Oh yeah, you aren't going to want to miss what happens there.
I'm looking forward to that main event. Andre the Giant and Dean Ambrose, a first-time face-off, I believe. I don't think they fought during the very short time that they were both on NXT. Come such a long way, the both of them, since NXT. I almost forgot that they were both on NXT, but they were. We've also got up next to find out who will be facing off for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. Daniel Bryan, one of Paul Heyman's chosen favorites, has been given an opportunity to go up against Big E. Big E made his SmackDown debut last week. He came up short against Andre the Giant, but he says the chase is on. This is going to be NXT all over again. He is not going to stop until he has beaten Andre the Giant and taken that Intercontinental Championship. Pile driver, but Sandow with a kick out at 2. I'm very interested to find out what will happen in that matchup next. Who will be the one to challenge Andre the Giant? I mean, Daniel Bryan, you tell me this guy's going for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm telling you now, this guy should be going for the the WWE Championship. Not used to the WWE Championship being on SmackDown again. But, yeah, Daniel Bryan should be going for the WWE Championship. He's beaten The Rock. He has pinned the guy who is challenging for the championship at Backlash. I understand that match is set. He can't be added to it. Fine, sure. But Daniel Bryan should get dibs at whoever wins at Backlash, if you ask me. However, he's been given an Intercontinental Championship contenders match. And I'm sure he's going to make the most of that up next. Daniel Bryan has been on fire on SmackDown. Sandow being very relentless against Randy Savage. And now coming in for the elbow of disdain. That's not true. That's not true. I like the elbow of disdain, actually. Do you know what my least favorite move is? Shitty ass diving second rope elbow drop. Who does that move, King? Sandow! Another new finisher. Okay, I don't know what that one was called. I don't actually remember him doing that. Cover attempt. It's over. Damien Sandow shutting down Randy Savage's SmackDown debut. But yeah, that's not the You're Welcome or the Terminus. I don't know what the hell that one was.
The self-professed intellectual savior of the masses.
My boy. Well, Damien Sandow is victorious once again on SmackDown, and I think maybe Season 5, which is now what his 3rd season he's been a part of, could be the return of Sandow. So we had the rise of Sandow in Season 3, had not really the downfall, he just kind of drifted down a little bit in Season 4. I think we're seeing the comeback of this man right here, maybe on his way to another world title match down the line. Either way, we move on. Up next, it is Daniel Bryan and Big E Intercontinental Championship contenders match. I'm going to quickly go back so I can try to fix whatever's going on.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from California, weighing 285 pounds.
It feels really weird to not hear the Langston already. But, you know, I did do an entire season where that was his name, so I guess that makes sense. And he hasn't been in the actual WWE in quite a long time. I hope he's able to come back one day. I really like Big E. Just to, like, break kayfabe for a minute and talk, like, genuinely, I really like Big E. And it is such a shame that he has been gone for so long. I'm happy he got a WWE title reign. I don't think it was a very long one, unfortunately. But I'm happy he got that, because I remember when he first debuted. Well, not debuted, but like when he left NXT, because that was around the time I started watching. It was right after he dropped the title to Bo. I remember just really liking him right from the get-go. I thought, oh, this guy's got like everything. The only thing he didn't have back then was talking. He wasn't really much of a promo cutter during the 5-count days, but he didn't need to be. The 5-count spoke for itself.
Approaching the ring from Aberdeen, Washington, weighing 210 pounds, Daniel Bryan.
You know, I often wonder how Bryce Walker feels seeing Daniel Bryan reach these new heights of success here on SmackDown after being accused of holding him down. Maybe Bryce would be doing good on Raw, though, to be fair. He hasn't really had much of an opportunity. I mean, he beat Sergeant Shitass a couple weeks ago, so, you know, that's not bad. Yes, yes, yes. There's no point in me even saying this, but I haven't been able to work on this for a couple weeks, so if you experienced a very long wait, about 2 weeks, oh my god, the side-eye Justin Roberts gave Daniel Bryan. Look, we get it. Everybody loves Daniel Bryan. Everybody hates you. Get over it. That's just the way it is. Respect the beard. Oh, that shirt makes me laugh. Shout out to the one guy that told me they owned one of those when they were younger. They were younger, it's okay. It's understandable. Down goes Daniel Bryan. Big E shoving him down to the mat, and now big boot there. Should be an interesting matchup here. As I said, Intercontinental Championship opportunity at stake for the winner of this matchup. Will be facing Andre the Giant at Backlash next Sunday. Well, I actually think it's 2 weeks from Sunday, but we have another off week coming up. I'm pretty sure, because I think there's a 5-week gap between Mania 29 and the Extreme Rules that followed it. But yeah. So I believe for us that will be next week, but in the calendar it'll actually be an extra week. It's really weird because I've been watching like old Raw, and I'm gonna say it is really weird to see that they used to do that. They used to actually genuinely have like off weeks fairly often too. So far I've not actually reached a full year where they haven't had at least 1 week off. So I'm curious when that started. I'm going to assume probably not too long from the year I'm on. I'm almost finished with 1995, which I will continue to say is the worst year of wrestling I've watched so far. No, that's not true. That's not true. That golden era is rough. It is so corny. Well, actually, no. No. Let's stop that right now. The new generation is the corniest era of all time. Let's not. Because there was like 80s corny, which is more forgivable because it's the 80s. And then there's the new generation, which is the mid-90s. Where it's like, things were getting a little bit more edgy. You know, grunge was a big thing. And, you know, we're getting close to the new metal era and so on. Like, the Attitude Era obviously happened during it. It was the first time in a long time where they weren't really behind in terms of what, like, the world was into at the time. Because the new generation era feels like you're watching a show that is like 20 years outdated. It feels so cartoony and corny and just bad. Really bad. I hate the new generation era. Holy moly. I'm sure some of the wrestling matches are good, but I can't look past all the shitty gimmicks and terrible commentary and... Wow. That's about it, really. How huge would this be for Big E to defeat Daniel Bryan here tonight? You know, a couple weeks back, you tell me that it would be an honor for Big E to beat Daniel Bryan. I'd say you're crazy. But Daniel Bryan in recent weeks, he's picked up just one big win after the other. You know, this guy holds a victory over the 2013 Royal Rumble winner Chris Jericho. He holds a victory over the former World Heavyweight Champion John Cena. He holds a victory over the record-setting WWE Champion The Rock. Daniel Bryan has so much momentum. Actually, I would say... between these two, if there's anyone that stands a good chance of maybe dethroning Andre the Giant, it might be Daniel Bryan at this point in time. I know that sounds crazy, but he has gotten so much momentum in his favor. I have to believe in him, although saying that, Big E perhaps going to remind us he's here. Sorry, I had to say that just once. Lifting Daniel Bryan up to his feet, Big E. I thought he was going to go for the big ending. Instead, he's going for the Season 4 special. All right. Throwing it back to last season here. No, that's not very Season 4 at all. He would have tapped out. An undying will, huh? Shout out to Undertale. Oh, nice reversal here by Daniel Bryan. That might be enough. No. These two really giving it their all right now. One-on-one. Friday Night SmackDown. Bryan, what the hell? What the hell was that? Cattle mutilation. Cattle mutilation? Big E's big strikes really taking their toll on Daniel Bryan, but I don't know, he seems... that's really bad. But you know what? There it is. The label lock has been applied, and Big E is reaching. Daniel Bryan decided to release as Big E... Do you see the speed, by the way? The absolute strength of Big E. The speed that guy managed to crawl across the ropes with one arm. I mean, crawl towards the ropes. Sorry, with one arm. That is how strong Big E is. He's got a guy on his back, pulling back at his face, and he's able to drag his entire body plus Daniel Bryan across the mat that fast. Daniel Bryan's coming in fast here. Big E going for that big clothesline of his, but Daniel Bryan with a reversal into that elbow. And you know what? That's probably the finish, to be honest. Yeah. That's the one thing I don't like about 15. I can get over it, but it feels like we've gone back to Season 1 where... when they're done, and any old move's going to finish them off. Well, signature or comeback sequence is going to finish them off. Could be worse, though. I ain't complaining. It could be much, much worse than that. Anyway, Daniel Bryan, everybody, victorious here tonight against Big E, and this man will now meet Andre the Giant for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash, and I hope he's ready for what awaits him, because that is going to be a tough, tough uphill struggle for that very confused looking man. As we move on, the Shield are in action.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, representing the United Kingdom from Blackpool, England, weighing 243 pounds, William Regal.
Well, last week, I believe it was on SmackDown, the Primetime Players defeated the recently reunited United Kingdom to earn a World Tag Team Championship opportunity. The Primetime Players against the Shield, that will take place next Sunday at Backlash for the the WWE Tag Team Championships. But the Shield, being the fighting champions that they are, they welcome the potential here tonight for what could have been. And they will take on the United Kingdom non-title here tonight to get a taste of what we could have seen at Backlash.
Representing the United Kingdom from Preston, England, weighing 246 pounds, Wayne Barrett.
Now, I gotta tell you, I'm very interested in what's going down at Backlash between the Primetime Players and the Shield, because the Shield were in line to go for the NXT Tag Team Championships, and they were removed from the NXT Tag Division when they won their EYS and ended up going to Raw. And it ended up being that the Nexus became the Tag Team Champions against the Primetime Players. So it could have been the Shield against the Primetime Players. This is kind of a what-if being answer for what would have happened if the Shield were still on NXT when the NXT Tag Team titles were introduced last season. I went a really long way about saying that.
At a total combined weight of 482 pounds, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
I will forever love these tag team titles because they were the first championship that I ever owned as a kid. I had the SmackDown tag title. Yeah, it was the very first one I ever got. And then I went on a belt collecting spree and I had like all of them. That was back when they were made by, not Mattel, the ones that made before them, which I can't remember. Was it Jax? I think it was Jax. That doesn't feel right, but I think that's right. Yeah, I used to have like all of them. The only one I think I didn't have was the women's and the light heavyweight. But I had the cruiserweight, I had the John Cena US spinner, I had the hardcore, the $1 million, the ECW, the like old ECW. I did eventually get the Mattel big silver ECW because I fucking love that belt. I think it's such a nice looking championship. That was the last one I ever got. The W spinner. Oh, I didn't have the undisputed actually. I don't think I never saw that anywhere for sale, so I never was able to get that one. Yeah, big gold. Intercontinental. I had the Globe. I never had the classic Intercontinental Championship either, actually. Or the classic World Tag. I didn't really want any of the oldies, I don't think. I just wanted the ones that were in the games. I think was how I decided it. Because I remember buying a replica on a line of the Attitude Era belt, just because that was in one of the games. I remember when I was young and I first started playing, I thought the Attitude Championship, because that's what they called it in, I think it was SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. They called it the Attitude Championship, not the Attitude Era or anything like that. They just called it the Attitude Championship. I thought that was like an original championship that got retired, and I was like, what is the Attitude Championship? It was a different time, alright? I'd started watching in 2005, and that game was in, that championship was in 2006, which came out in 2005, so I was still a very fresh fan. I was 11 years old. I'm allowed to not know things, alright? But all of the ones that were in the games, I remember like going out of my way to try and get them all. I remember the $1 million one was the hardest one to get, because I don't think they sold that locally. I think I had to get that imported. I remember spending a lot of time on eBay trying to get it, and I think eventually I did get it, but I spent a lot of money on it. It's probably not even worth that much, but I got it. And now I don't know what ever happened to any of those belts. They are all gone. Every single one of them is gone, and I don't know where. Do you know the funny thing is, I really hate the Cena Spinner US belt. Not the WWE. I thought the WWE Spinner belt was fine, to be honest. I mean, I don't love it. But, like, I thought it was fine. But the US, I hated that. Did not like that championship design at all. It was too plain. Just a circle. Just a set of circles.
He gets out of trouble there.
A suplex there. But yes, obviously when I saw that they now have an homage, the whole reason I was even talking about this is when I saw they have an homage to these WWE Tag Team titles nowadays, the ones on SmackDown. Oh, I was so happy to see that. I was so happy to see them. I mean, it's kind of a throwback to the original World Tag titles as well. Like, it's kind of a combination of the two. Because that's what the WWE Tag Team titles were anyway, the original SmackDown ones. They were, like, very similar to... Oh! Okay! William Regal literally came back to team with this guy, and he's walking out on him! What in the hell is your problem, Wade? Oh my god. Folks, I want to remind you, William Regal literally, that was the one United Kingdom member that never turned against each other. Those two remained friends until the end. And Regal literally said he was happy to return to action to team with Wade Barrett once again. That is devastating. Well, the match is carrying on. You can't just throw a match out because one guy walked out, but... Oh my god. I gotta be honest, I feel for William Regal right now. That has got to sting. Superman punch missed. Superman punch missed. That punch didn't miss. Well, I mean, I respect Regal still putting up a fight here. He's got to be letting his emotions carry him through this right now. This guy called Wade Barrett a near and dear friend to his heart.
And he's in there trying to get something going for his partner.
That is honestly shocking. I cannot believe that Barrett just walked out on William Regal. I guess it's a good thing they didn't win last week. Or maybe it's the loss last week. That's the reason Wade Barrett decided to walk out this week. But and he really left him to the wolves here. It's got to be it. There you go. Well, that was devastating for William Regal. I don't know what this means for the future for Wade Barrett and William Regal. Obviously, the United Kingdom are not going to be teaming together. What is happening? Uh-oh. I think a cutscene was supposed to play. Best I can think. Well, we'll be right back with the main event.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Grenoble in the French Alps, weighing 476 pounds, the Intercontinental Champion, the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant.
This guy, such a freak of nature. I was so excited to see Big E make his SmackDown debut last week, and Andre just stomped that fire out instantly. He shut that man down so hard. And Big E, fresh off the back of losing the NXT Championship to Rey Mysterio. Although he's come here to SmackDown, he seems to be having a bit of a struggle at the moment to find his way, to find his place. And I hope things can turn around for him sooner than later. But we now know that at Backlash, that championship will be defended against Daniel Bryan, which could lead to Daniel Bryan's first ever singles championship. I don't think he's ever won a singles title. Well, barring the European title, sorry. That's a tertiary championship, minor championship. I don't know. That sounds like you're talking it down. I'd say major championship. I'd say we've got a minor title.
The ring from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing 225 pounds, the WWE Champion, Dean Ambrose.
I'd say the hardcore and European are the minor titles. The US and IC are the major titles, and then the World Heavyweight and WWE are the world titles. To me, that feels right. Because it's okay for the European and hardcore to be seen as the minor titles. They are kind of the first step for a lot of people. Or there's something that's used as kind of a career resurgence occasionally. Not very often, but can happen. I'd definitely say that would have been the case if Shawn Michaels had won the European title at WrestleMania. Well, this is our main event here tonight. Dean Ambrose, not Daniel Bryan. Dean Ambrose and Andre the Giant one-on-one in the Shield are not here at ringside for this one. This is Dean going at it alone with the Intercontinental Champion. And this is an opponent unlike anything Dean Ambrose has ever faced before. This, to me, is potentially going to be proof that Andre the Giant could, in fact, be the WWE Champion before long. Dean Ambrose is set to defend the WWE Championship against The Rock next Sunday at Backlash, and Dean Ambrose has rarely, I don't actually think he has suffered, no, he suffered one loss since being WWE Champion. That was to Edge a couple weeks back in a draft match. That was, I believe, the last time Dean Ambrose ever lost a match, which was only a couple weeks back, but barring that, he hasn't lost a match since Elimination Chamber, I believe. He has just been absolutely on fire since winning the WWE Championship, including back-to-back victories over Stone Cold Steve Austin. But The Rock is unlike any other. That is the record holder. That is the longest reigning WWE Champion in history, and that is the man who is coming to reclaim his position at the top of the food chain. Andre dumping Ambrose down, and so far this has been all Andre. Oh! Ambrose managing to get Andre off of his feet. Ambrose is definitely giving up a lot of size in this one. There is no denying that. There is a... Oh my god, okay! There is a very notable size difference in that ring. And it is very important for Dean Ambrose to do exactly what he's doing right now, which is to keep Andre down. Just look at the size difference. Look at how much he is giving up when he goes toe-to-toe with Andre. It's crazy. Ambrose once again keeping Andre down on the mat where he wants him, where he needs him. You know what's interesting is following the events of the draft, both men that Ambrose retained against at WrestleMania, Chris Jericho and Stone Cold Steve Austin, are both here on SmackDown as well as Dean Ambrose. And what's even more crazy, actually, speaking of Dean Ambrose's matches, it was after Edge defeated Dean Ambrose in the final draft match of this season that The Rock made his decision as the final draft pick to go to SmackDown. At the time, it was Edge that won The Rock coming to this brand, which meant The Rock was going to go for Edge's World Heavyweight Championship. However, the draft then led to Edge and Ambrose switching places, and now The Rock is going back for his former glory, the WWE Championship. So Edge really shook things up for Ambrose quite a bit there. I don't know who he would have ended up facing at Backlash if it weren't for that, but Andre tearing apart the announce table. Oh my god! Careful, Andre. Could have caught his head on the corner of the ring there. Oh! Unlike when you take that kind of slam from anyone else, there's just that little bit more height when it's delivered by Andre the Giant. Especially when he lifts you over his head like he just did to Dean Ambrose.
And no wiggle room here for Andre the Giant.
These fans are not pleased by anything. They chant boring at every single match.
Just trying to goad his opponent into making a mistake here.
Oh!
Good night. Incredible counter.
You know, there's a lot of factors on SmackDown that I'm interested in seeing as the weeks go on. I'm really curious about the mysterious Wyatt family. We've only really seen them a couple times. We saw their debut at WrestleMania against the Brothers of Destruction, which thankfully they've been separated from in the draft. We saw Bray Wyatt on the first SmackDown after WrestleMania. We haven't seen or heard anything from them since. You know, there are superstars like Shawn Michaels who got drafted here to SmackDown. We still haven't seen him yet. As time goes on, it's going to be interesting to see who finds their place where and how. The one thing I'm very curious about is what the future now holds for the new hardcore champion Ryback. I thought, you know, this was his time to kind of move on from that championship. Maybe set his sights on something new. Andre maybe. But no, Ryback once again hardcore champion. Oh, he's tapping out. He's tapping out. Andre the Giant with his sheer force on the nerves of Ambrose forced a submission over the WWE Champion. Oh my God. As I said going into this match, that is the first time, well sorry, that is the second time ever since winning the WWE Championship that Ambrose has lost a match. This guy honestly kind of dominated Ambrose. I hate to admit it, but that was almost a one-sided match. Well, I guess count your lucky stars, Ambrose, that guy can't go for the WWE Championship right now as the Intercontinental Champion. Why do his fingers look so weird? Anyway, that is it for tonight's SmackDown. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the final week before Backlash.